Phil Spencer was so distraught that Starfield wasn't coming out in November that he called up Todd's wife. And he said, "Hey, Mrs. Todd's wife, I want to have a sleepover with Todd so we can figure out the Starfield thing." And Todd's wife said, "Sure, come on over. We can." He's got a bunk bed. The bottom one's a race car, and the top one's a spaceship. And that's the top one is the one Todd uses, and you can use the bottom one. Um, but don't say anything about it, and like don't try to take the top one away from my husband because he really likes that one. And Phil said, "Okay, I'll be right over." And so he ran right over there, and he got there and opened it up, and they were so excited to see each other. Like, oh, we get to have a sleepover. We're gonna talk about Starfield and how awesome it's gonna be. And then Todd's wife did something really, really cool. She said Todd could stay up until 10 p.m. because it wasn't a work night. It was Friday night. And he had a friend over. So instead of his usual bedtime at 9, he could stay up all the way until 10, which is really, really cool of Todd's wife. And so they were in there in his bedroom, and he's got a lot of cool toys. He's got all this cool Starfield toys that we don't get to have yet because he's Todd, and Phil got to play with the toys, and Phil said that the toys were really cool, and he wanted to show me the toys, but he didn't have his phone with him and he didn't have a camera, so he was going to show them to me. But they were really, really cool. And so when it got to be bedtime, they were telling ghost stories, and then it turns out that every night at 11 p.m. a monster comes out of Todd's closet. I'm not fooling around, guys. And that very night at 11 p.m., Phil was watching it because they were telling all these spooky ghost stories, and he just could not fall asleep because of that. And he saw the door open up, and he saw a partially bald man walk out of Todd's closet. He walked over, and he bent over, and Phil could hear somebody whispering to Todd. Hear this bald man whispering. And the bald man stood up and looked right into Phil's face, right into his eyes. And you know who Phil Spencer saw? It was Peter Molyneux. And Peter went right back in the closet and closed the door. And the next morning, Todd started telling Phil about all these great features that were not going to be in the game. It turns out Starfield was late because Peter Molyneux kept whispering lies into Todd's ears, and then Todd was repeating those lies, and then Todd's wife grounded him for like a whole month for lying all the time. And that's why Starfield is so late. And if you don't believe me, like I was there. I was like the third guy. I forgot to tell you I was there the whole time, but I was there, and it all happened. I didn't have my phone with me, so like I don't have video or pictures. But I was there. Like if you talk to Todd, he'll tell you this is all true. But if he doesn't tell you it's all true, Todd doesn't tell the truth all the time. But so if he tells you that it didn't happen, that means it happened. So if you got any more questions for me, leave them down below. And if you want to know why my eyes have been glowing blue this whole time, because I'm playing Starfield right now. Starfield is on my screen, but you can't see it. I promised Todd and Phil I wasn't going to show it to anybody.